Let's start with the big story of the day. Prime Minister has arrived in Netherlands for the second stop of his Five Nations diplomatic trip. In fact, we will be showing you the visuals on your screen. He received a warm welcome from the Indian diaspora there and Dutch leaders in Amsterdam. Our Prime Minister is expected to hold talks with the Dutch Prime Minister and also meet with the King and Queen later today. This is Prime Minister's first visit to the country since 2017, making it an important trip to the country. The timing is also quite important because at a time when the global trade is facing challenges, Europe is looking for a reliable partner and India is becoming an important player in technology, clean energy, trade and innovation. It may be a small country, but it is very, very important for India's economy. It is one of India's biggest trade partners in Europe and also one of the largest foreign investors in India as well. So those are the visuals on your screen. In fact, just a few hours back, Prime Minister Modi arrived in Netherlands for the second stop of the five-nation diplomatic trip. Those are the visuals on your screen. He received a warm welcome from the Indian community and the Dutch leaders there in Amsterdam. All right, let me take you through what Prime Minister put out on social media as soon as he landed in Amsterdam. He said landed in Amsterdam. The visit to Netherlands comes at a time when the India-EU free trade agreement has given a major impetus to the trade and investment linkages. It offers an opportunity to deepen the relations in areas like semiconductors, water, clean energy and more. We'll be holding talks with the Prime Minister and will be calling upon the King and the Queen as well. I also look forward to addressing a community program on the morning of the 16th. So that is going to be the key highlight. He will be addressing the Indian diaspora there in Amsterdam later today is what we are learning so far. So the big focus, in fact, of the visit is expected to be semiconductor, green hydrogen, defense innovation and water management as well. On that, let me go across to KP Fabin, who's joining us live on the broadcast. Thanks so much, sir, for connecting with us. How do you look at this visit of the Prime Minister? Because Netherlands is not a small country. It holds a lot of importance for our country when it comes to this crucial visit by the Prime Minister. How do you look at this?
You mentioned the semiconductor technology. Netherlands has something called ASML, and that is very important for India also. But, Netherlands is a small country, but our exports and our investment in Netherlands are growing, partly because Netherlands is a good entry point into the European Union, both by way of exports and investment. Now, the other aspect is that India is diversifying its contacts and options in the context of the high tariff, arbitrarily imposed on it by the United States. So it is important for India to deepen and broaden its relations with Europe. And there, what India is doing, not only working through the European Union, but also with the individual member states. And that is why the Prime Minister's visit to the Netherlands and then to Italy and all that are very important.
All eyes will be on that. As you also mentioned, in fact, it may be a small country, but it is very important for India's economy. It is one of India's biggest trade partners in Europe and one of the largest foreign investors in India as well. Thank you so much, sir, for connecting with us. In fact, let's tell you about the big focus of this visit. We're learning that it is expected to be semiconductor, green hydrogen, defense, innovation, water management. These are the key issues that will be discussed by the Prime Minister with their Prime Minister there. In fact, at this point in time, have a look at the visuals on your screen because Prime Minister has arrived in Netherlands for the second stop of his five-nation diplomatic trip. In fact, he received a warm welcome, as you can see in the visuals, from the Indian community and the Dutch leaders there in Amsterdam. In fact, he's today expected to hold talks with the Dutch Prime Minister and also meet with the King and the Queen. This is his first visit since 2017, making it very important because the timing is quite important, and this comes at a time when the global trade is, in fact, there is a lot of uncertainty as well. All right, let's get you more details on this, because one of the most special moments of the Prime Minister's visit will be the return of the historic Chola copper plates to India. These are the copper plates from the time of the Chola dynasty nearly 1,000 years ago. These plates have the writings engraved on them in Tamil and Sanskrit, and they contain, in fact, important details about the kings, the temples, donation, land grants, and the way, in fact, the Chola Empire was run. Historians see them as extremely valuable, and because they believe that this explains India's rich history and the culture as well. So today what we're learning that these will be returned. They have a lot of significance because they contain the royal decree, land grants, the temple records as well, offer a key insight into the governance as far as the Chola dynasty is also concerned, and history of our country linked to one of India's greatest empires, that is the Chola dynasty. Plates looted from India during the Dutch colonialism in 1700s, and plates were later donated to the museum in 1800. And today this is going to hold a lot of importance, and this will be the most special moment of the Prime Minister's visit. That will be the return of the historic Chola copper plates to India. These, as we told you, as you can see on the screen as well, these are the copper plates, in fact, from the time of the Chola dynasty nearly 1,000 years ago. These plates have writing engraved on them in Sanskrit, in Tamil as well, and many of the experts also believe that they have a lot of importance because they have details about the kings, the temples, the donation, the land grants, and the way the Chola Empire that used to run. And this is quite valuable because it explains India's rich history and the culture as well. So all eyes will be on that. In fact, from the water management to the high-tech partnership, India's Netherlands ties are entering a new era. As Prime Minister returns to the country after 9 whole years, expectations are quite high over the trade, investment and the cooperation and the ties between the two countries. In fact, have a look at what the former India envoy to the Netherlands, Venu Rajamani, told Times Now. He said that the visit could give a major boost to the ties between the two nations. Have a look.
Prime Minister Modi last visited Netherlands 9 years back when I was ambassador there. I had just taken charge as ambassador, and within few weeks he came. It was a highly successful visit which set India-Netherlands relations on a higher trajectory. At that time, the focus was on agriculture and water management, but now the relationship is poised to move to a higher plane of relationship in technology. We have to remember that the Netherlands is a world leader in terms of water management. Even the US and other developed countries turn to Netherlands when it comes to questions of climate change, long-term water resilience. India has huge challenges in this field. We are also trying to clean up the Ganga River. For all of this, Dutch help and support would be hugely useful to us.
Also, the FTA has just been agreed upon. So this should help ties, trade and commerce between the two countries. The FTA itself should help bilateral economic ties between Holland and India.
Absolutely. Holland is a traditional trading power. They call themselves a country of traders. So the FTA will open up new avenues for trade between our countries. Today, the trade amounts are still relatively small, but Rotterdam is the biggest port in Europe. It's the gateway into Europe. Similarly, in the field of technology, Eindhoven is an area they call the brain port. Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam is one of the leading airports of Europe. All these provide us with great connectivity into Europe. And similarly with India and its huge market, as well as tremendous industrial capabilities, as well as agricultural capabilities, I would say, there is great scope for expansion of trade. Netherlands is also already an important source of investments into India, and a large number of Indian companies already have their home in Netherlands. Let's hope that the mutual investments can also leap manyfold thanks to the start given by this visit.
The relationship relationship between the two countries, that is India and Netherlands, is quite important. Let me take you through the timeline of the ties between the two countries. In 1602, Dutch East India Company that was formed. In 1947, India-Dutch diplomatic ties were established. That is when India got independence. In 2013, urban development water MOUs were signed between the two countries. And in 2015, the Dutch Prime Minister visited India. So that was the last time that he was in fact here. Let's also tell you more about the visit of the Prime Minister for the first time to this country. That was in 2017 when Prime Minister Modi visited this country, and that was the last time around 9 years ago. In 2018, the Dutch Prime Minister visited India. So there was a lot of back and forth of the Prime Minister visiting the countries. In 2018 as well, Netherlands joined the International Solar Alliance. And after that, let's keep telling you about the ties between the two countries. The Dutch King, in fact, visited India as well. And later today, we are learning that the Prime Minister will also be meeting with the King and the Queen as well. In 2022, 70 years of India-Netherlands ties, that was marked by the two countries. In fact, 3 years back, the Prime Minister attended the G20 summit in India as well. He was part of this crucial summit in India. 2 years back, the Dutch foreign and defense ministers, they also visited India, and so has been the ties between the two countries. In 2025, Joint Trade and Investment Committee was set up between the two countries, and today, in fact, Prime Minister will be visiting the country. 79 years of India-Netherlands ties, and 2026 marks that crucial moment. And today, Prime Minister has already arrived there. He will be meeting with the Prime Minister and also with the King and the Queen of the country as well. Let's have a look at the visuals that are coming in from Netherlands. In fact, just a few hours back, Prime Minister arrived there and he met with the Indian diaspora there. He received a very warm welcome. Have a look at the visuals coming in.
Hello.